Okay, the first thing we're going to take a look at is Photoshop's preferences. And this is really going to depend on how fast your computer is, how much RAM you have, things like that, extra hard drive space. What we're going to go up to do is go up to the top, hit Edit, go to Preferences, and select General. Selecting any of these other ones isn't really going to matter because if we select General, it gives us the option to change any of these. So we'll pull this up, and a lot of this I'm not going to go through just yet. Uh, but we do want to take a look at the history states. History state is really dependent on how much RAM you have, and what it is doing is storing your undo levels while you're working on an image within Photoshop or any project you're working on, and that'll all be displayed within the history as your undo levels. The higher amount of RAM, the more history states you can put in. If you have about a gig of RAM, 50 states could be fine. 50 history states. But that really also depends on how large the image is you're working on. I have 3 gigs of RAM, so I could bring this up a lot higher and still work pretty quickly. Another thing I want to take a look at right away is our memory and image cache. And we can set our cache level, the default 6 is fine, but we can take a look at our available RAM, which is about 1700 on my system. And the maximum used by Photoshop is 78%, so that's 1300. So that's actually about half of my RAM. Right now it says about 1700 is available because the other 1100 or 1200 megabytes of RAM are being used by Windows and other background running processes. And the last thing we're going to take a look at is setting up scratch disks. So if we select plugins and scratch disks, we'll have the ability to select other hard drives on our system. If you have more than one hard drive, it's a good idea to select scratch disks. What a scratch disk is it's saving all your temporary image files that you're working on. If it's not saved yet, or even if it is saved, anything up to the save point is saved on another hard drive. So you're working on a different hard drive, and it's your scratch disk. What you want to do is use your fastest hard drive on your computer to select your scratch disk, and then if you have multiple hard drives, you can have multiple scratch disks, which will speed up working on larger photos and larger products within Photoshop.